So first, I'd just like to say this first portion of the video is not mine. He just does a great job of summarizing everything. And sometimes I'm like, why recreate the wheel? So I'm just going to let him say what he needs to say, and then we'll get started.
Finally, for the hottest news today. And finally, for the hottest news today, let's continue with a more in-depth coverage of the Snapdragon Summit 2023, now with the Snapdragon X Elite. Let's just say there's no easy way to summarize it, so I'll just start from the beginning. Its 4nm process features a 12-core Qualcomm Orion CPU that optimizes demanding workloads and features an interesting dual-core boost for faster responsiveness. This makes it up to 2 times faster than any x86 CPU in the competition. Its Adreno GPU is also up to 2 times faster, providing up to 4.6 teraflops of performance and supporting triple UHD monitors at a time. In addition to some awesome gaming performance, it supports up to an insane 136 gigabytes of LPDDR5X memory, and yeah, let that sink in. It's also built for AI with its Hexagon NPU supporting 13 plus billion parameters on device, providing an insane 45 TOPS, meaning it's 4.5 times faster than competitors, generating stable diffusion images in less than 1 second, and with the Qualcomm AI engine providing 75 TOPS. Best of all, it has all this power and yet matches peak performance at 68% less power consumption. But wait, there's more. It includes all flavors of 5G support, Wi-Fi 7, lossless audio, an advanced camera ISP, chip-to-cloud security, and then Snapdragon Seamless helps you collaborate between your phone and your tablet with ease. Other interesting details include the fact that this chip is scalable for different PC form factors, and also that those graphs against the M2 Max already show how much more powerful the Snapdragon X Elite already is. I know, this was a lot to digest, so stay tuned for the first products powered by it in mid-2024.
That was definitely a lot to cover. And the way I view it is currently, well, I don't even want to say currently. I'll say, within the past year and a half, I decided to give Apple products another try. Many years ago, somebody literally just gave me their MacBook Air Pro, I don't remember, a MacBook, I'll just say that. And using Mac OS or OS X at the time, it just wasn't what I was looking for, so I just gave it back. And a couple years go by, and then a friend of mine sends me her old MacBook Pro that had water damage. I got it working, used it for a little bit, and I said, no, I just don't like it. And then fast forward some more time, probably another year. I see a Mac Mini on sale, and I buy it. And in fact, that was I think that was September of 2020. And for those of us who know, I believe October of 2020 is when Apple announced and released their M series products. So needless to say, one, I was a little bothered that Apple just I was a little bothered that Apple released something about a month after I made this purchase. Not only that, buying the M series Mac Mini would have been cheaper than I think it was an i5 something something, an Intel based Mac Mini. And at that point, I don't want to say all Intel Macs became obsolete because that's not quite true. But I definitely was just like, if I just waited a month and I was still willing to spend this much money on a Mac Mini, I could have got one brand new from Apple. And after seeing the YouTubers and stuff back in 2020, to see the raw performance that came with Apple Silicon, I was like, okay. But at the time, I did not purchase the M series product, so I was using the Intel Mac Mini, and it was okay. I said, well, it is what it is. And to be fair, I already had a Windows laptop or desktop at the time, whichever one I was using, I don't remember. And my natural workflow, which was mainly just work stuff and some social media and things like that, no video editing, everything I just kind of preferred using a Windows PC. But again, fast forward some more time, and now I say, all right, I want to give an M series product a try. And to just summarize the amount of purchases and time that went through, I've purchased and sold all M1 series products, with the exception of the iMac. And in my actual possession, I still have this MacBook Pro, and I actually bought a used Mac Studio. I am using an M2 MacBook Air, and overall, I feel like there are just a few reasons as to why I continue using these products. One, and when it comes to the MacBook Air, it's a nice extension to the iPhone. Even though I got the MacBook Air first, and then now I have the iPhone, together, I like how they operate. And mainly that's just iMessage. People send messages or I send messages. Sometimes it's easier to just open your MacBook, type out the message, and then go on about your day. There are a bunch of other benefits that I'll talk about momentarily, but for the MacBook Air, really, it's just a nice companion for the iPhone. And when it comes to watching YouTube videos or even quickly browsing the web, it's a nice companion. It's a nice portable laptop to do things like that. When it comes to the more powerful machines, I like that. Yeah, I am recording video right now, recording audio. I can see myself, and you don't hear the fans. I don't hear the fans. But with an x86 Windows PC, my fear is that right now, doing something like this, the fans would be going crazy. So when it came to power and efficiency, minimal fan noise, the more powerful Macs are what I was looking for. And I've been very, very satisfied to use them. But as I was saying before I purchased any of the M series products, what I really didn't care for was OS X, and now Mac OS. I mean, the operating system is fine. I don't dislike it, but I care for Windows more. And part of that is just being used to using it. But when it came to, now I'm talking all of these products, the hardware that Apple was putting out was just so much better than anything that any of the Windows PCs manufacturers were making. So I was willing to say, hey, I might not like the operating system as much. I mean, again, I like it, just not as much. But the hardware is just blowing all of those things out the window. So, boom, that's where we are today. But with what Qualcomm has announced, and that his video that he just made is about 2 weeks old, so I meant to make this video a while ago. But what Qualcomm has announced is essentially as a result of their ARM-powered chips, they now will be making things that are as powerful and as efficient as these Mac products. And when it comes to that, for me, as long as what Qualcomm is saying is accurate, I don't think I have a reason to continue using, I don't want to say any Apple products, because I specifically pointed out the fact that with the MacBook Air, it was a nice companion to the iPhone. So that symbiotic relationship might still exist. But when it comes to video editing and things doing like this, and doing things like this, no, I think I'd probably prefer to go back to Windows. So time will tell. And I mean, I made a few quick notes, but talked about power and efficiency. Then the other big thing that I think is really beneficial, and it was right there at the end, is that one, comparing this Snapdragon X Elite to the M2 Max, letting you know, all right, at the time of that video or at the time of that summit, Apple had not yet released the M series, the M3 products. And even if they aren't as powerful as the M3, which there are some YouTubers around that probably have made videos about how they stack up to what Apple just released. Whatever, they're still good. Okay, again, as long as Qualcomm isn't lying. And yeah, the battery, the power efficiency, cool. But, and I know I'm going all over the place, the thing that for me I think is the most important is that one screen he showed talking about the different partners that will be available to work with. So you have, of course, your Dell, your Lenovo, and hopefully I'll put it on the screen right now. But so many options where you're not just stuck with one company. Now, I know the chip might just be a Qualcomm chip, but if you like Lenovo products, boom, you can get one. If you like a Dell, if you like an HP, if you like an Asus, an Acer, and whatever other companies will be on the screen, that, in my opinion, is the most invaluable and valuable aspect of it all. That you aren't locked in solely to one company's thought process and product line. So I'm going to wrap this one up. And yeah, I'm excited about that. Combining that with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, which is the chip for the cell phones, and the fact that Apple appears to be adopting RCS sometime next year, which I'll make another video about that. Things are hopefully looking pretty good.